Hey, what up guys? So, me and Monica are doing this new little thing for you. We can't do it all the time, unfortunately, because movie theaters cost a lot of money, but we're going to try to do it as frequently as we can, where we go to the movies and we kind of film 3 different segments for you. So before you turn away because this video is too long, just keep in mind that the first segment is actually only about 7 minutes long, and it's our before thoughts while we're walking into the theater, and then our after thoughts as we're walking out. Then we come back to the house and we film at this lovely place, and we film a little more in-depth video for you, talking about some of the things that we liked and didn't like about the film. That portion is about 30 minutes long, so at the very bare minimum, watch our before and our after, just so you can see if you want to go see the film. But then come back afterwards and check out the longer portion. It's pretty fun stuff. Me and Monica just have kind of an unadulterated talk about the film. So hope you guys like this and enjoy. So, Monica, what are we doing?
We are going to see Furious 7.
Yes, we are. So, we were going to go see an earlier showing. We decided to wait so that we could see the previews, because previews are important to us. So we went to Barnes & Noble right behind us.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me. Then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own.
You're welcome, Barnes & Noble, for all the revenue that this video is going to get you. Anyways, so I'm gonna do, this is like a little pre-video, we're gonna do a little post-video, and then we're gonna do an actual review. You know, I'm not excited to see this film, to be perfectly honest with you. Are you excited to see this film?
Not. No.
You like the Fast movies better than me, though.
Yeah, I do, but I've never gone to a theater to see them.
I saw the first 2 Fast and the Furious movies in the theater, but I mean, I was in like 7th or 8th grade when the first one came out. The second one came out shortly after. So, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of high-flying action, especially when it looks so unrealistic. I can tell you from the preview, Paul Walker running up the bus and grabbing onto the car. And you know, that just doesn't impress me. But I'm gonna let my inhibitions down, try to enjoy the movie, and then give you guys an actual review afterwards. Any last words, Mama?
Can I stick my Starbucks cup in my purse and sneak it into the theater?
Probably not.
Man, okay, hopefully this will be a good movie then.
Alright, well, we'll see you guys on the flip side. Peace! Say bye, Mom! Monica, why don't you tell everybody what just happened?
We just bought tickets and I forgot my Regal card.
She forgot her Regal card. Regal, you ought to do, like, I don't know, some sort of computerized system for the cards. I think that would make Monica happy.
Yes.
We getting popcorn? Might as well.
One, I guess? Huh? No?
No, we might as well. Okay. Where's she at? There you are.
Upset.
She's not feeling well. So what'd you think?
It was okay for what it was.
Yeah.
There were some outrageous moments, but ultimately, it's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, there's some moments that are worse than others in terms of like the unbelievability, but I mean, I guess it was fun.
It was fun for what it was. I mean, what it was, because it's its own thing.
Yeah, it's got destruction for people who like destruction. And it's got boobs for people who like boobs, and sorry, phone died in the sake of continuity, always cut on an action. And it's got butts for people who like butts, and it's got explosions for people who like explosions, and fast cars for people who like fast cars. So, I mean, I think, you know, all in all, if you've enjoyed the movies up till now, you're definitely going to enjoy this one. I mean, it's definitely not my cup of tea, I don't think.
But for the most part, I think it's more of a guy's fantasy movie. If that makes any sense. Like movies for guys that like movies.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see that. I mean, I can't see many young girls really being into this. I mean, it's pretty exploitive of females in general. Fuck, The Rock is just like the most womanizing woman.
Make me a sandwich.
Golly. I think if I were trying to rate it fair, that in its category, I would rate it like an 8 out of 10 probably. But if I'm rating this like outside of its category, if I'm rating this for just like what I look for in movies, it's, I don't know, like a 3 maybe. The one thing I can say is the movie was never lost to me. Like I stayed engaged with it. You know, it's not boring at all. I mean, I always stayed engaged, and it kept me wanting to watch. A lot of the times it kept me wanting to watch because I just wanted to know what other crazy crap they were going to try to do and pass off as like realistic. You know, some of the action scenes are definitely way more insane than others. But when it does action right, it does it well and fun. There's a scene where they go barreling down a flight of stairs on a door, and they just slide straight down this set of stairs, and it was really fun looking. So yeah, I liked that, and I like other facets of it too. I mean, at the end of the day, I said it inside the movie theater. It's basically like a preview to Marvel's Avengers: Age of Ultron. We even started kind of naming the heroes they correspond with, but who do you think Tyrese was? Who would Tyrese be?
You said Tyrese. I would say probably Iron Man without the iron.
No.
Because
Tyrese ain't no Iron Man.
But he's got the comedic.
Look, every time Tyrese spoke, I cringed.
Should somebody just walk me through what we're supposed to be doing?
Yeah,
I cringed. That is definitely the thing I hated most about this film.
I feel like they couldn't think of anything funny or more enticing to say, so they just kind of laid out some stuff and was like, just put your own spin on it. And that was it. It's like they almost brought him in but didn't have any lines for him to do, so it was kind of like just jammed in there.
And everybody on camera treats him the way that we're feeling. Like, every time he speaks, everybody just kind of looks at him like, what are you doing here?
Like, why?
And, you know, that sucks because I think Tyrese's character from the first... the second one. Well, his first film, which was Too Fast, Too Furious. I thought he was pretty good and pretty cool.
As they went on, he kind of got more...
He just, like, became, I don't know, the dude with the dunce cap.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, anyways... So that's our reactions after. You knew what we thought about it going into it. This is what we think about going out of it. Full review to follow shortly after these messages from Barnes & Noble. No. Barnes & Noble doesn't endorse this.
I endorse this. I endorse it.
After these messages from Monica.
Hoops by Monica.
We're going to see if we can get through this without Monica wanting to change her makeup. This is the third portion of this little thing that we're doing, where we've had time to kind of sit on everything that we watched yesterday, and we're going to kind of go back over it and kind of do a little more in-depth look at Furious 7.
Now, there will be some minor spoilers, but nothing that will affect the actual viewing experience of the movie itself.
We do believe in trying to keep everything as hush-hush as possible. We want everybody to have a good time and see it, and I mean, this is a movie that, I mean, there's not a whole lot to spoil in the first place. You kind of know what you're getting into with this movie from the start. I mean, Jason Statham is Owen Shaw's brother from the fifth film. Third and a half film. Anyways, Jason Statham is Owen Shaw's brother, and he's out to get revenge for what happened to him in one of the previous films. So he's out trying to take out all of our good guys or bad guys or anti-heroes, superheroes. Take your pick. So that being said, kind of our full experience from the previews on, that's what we're going to talk about. So what we had, first trailer was Monkey Kingdom, pretty cute looking little like monkey documentary, kind of like Meerkat Manor, might be fun to see. We got to see a trailer for Transporter 4, is it the fourth one?
Yeah, third. It should be the third.
No. Statham was in the third one. This one does not have Statham.
What was the third one about?
I don't remember. It's, you know me. I don't like action movies like that. We got to see a trailer for Southpaw, which was a boxing film with Jake Gyllenhaal. That looks pretty fun. We saw a new MI5 trailer, which, I don't know, if you guys watch our trailer trash, you kind of know my thoughts on Mission Impossible.
I just yawned. I'm sorry. That's how I felt watching the previews. It took forever.
Exactly. Mad Max. Mad Max looks insane. The trailer that we saw was just
pretty massive.
Insane. So that might be really fun to see. We got to see a new trailer for Spectre. It's James Bond. I'm not a huge fan myself, but I don't know. I guess the trailer looked. I think Christoph Waltz is in this. I think he's probably playing the bad guy, who I'm assuming is Spectre. Sorry, James Bond people who know their stuff and I don't. We got to see a trailer for Poltergeist, which, if there's, I mean, expect lots of jump scares. I already did a trailer trash on one of these, but this trailer was just rife with loud noises, and for the love of God, filmmakers out like just to go from like pure silence and make a loud noise and people jump. That's not you being scary. So please, we've got to stop this trend. Boom! Boo! Anywho, Ted 2. Ted 2 is, I mean, I guess I laughed a few times in the trailer, but I was over. I saw Ted 1 and I had enough, so I'm probably going to be skipping that. And then Straight Outta Compton, which I didn't really know what it was about, but she did, and she kind of educated me.
Should I say I'm black? It's because I'm black.
She educated me, and the trailer looked pretty good. I think I might enjoy the film. I mean, it looks like a pretty good little biopic. So yeah, anyways, those were the trailers. That being said, there were 9 of them. 9 damn trailers.
Like, remember when it used to be like just one trailer?
Yeah, it was like 2 or 3 at most. Like, man, there were so many trailers. So, yeah, that's something else we should just stop doing. I think Monica looked at her phone after the trailers. The showing started at 4:20, and it was 4:45.
Yeah, something like that.
4:45 before we got to see our final commercial in the movie theater.
So it's like you almost don't have to really rush to the theater now to see the previews, because like they show all the ones first, and it seems like they go into the good ones more towards the beginning of the movie.
So crazy. Anyways, so that was the trailer experience. Camera's gonna die, so I'm gonna change the battery.
No! Boom!
Okay, sorry about that. So we're going to talk about different things that we experienced throughout the film. We're going to keep all the points, you know, as concise as we possibly can. But yeah, we're just going to go through it. So the opening of the film. I think the opening of the film was really awesome. It basically is Jason Statham walking through the carnage of insanity that he's caused. Now, the one thing I think is really funny is, as I was watching the film, I was like, I wonder what that action scene would have looked like.
I think that's what they wanted us all to think, because we all know he's badass.
He is badass. I mean, you said it yourself. What was it you said at the very beginning?
I forgot what movie we were even watching, because I was like, this don't feel like a Fast and the Furious movie. It feels like I'm watching Crank / Transporter / everything else he's done.
Yeah, and it was. I mean, it was honestly, it was a very cool opening. So I definitely give the movie some props for that intro, because it was awesome. So there you go. Moving on. So the action, was it too insane?
Some stuff was way excessive to the point of really, like, I can't explain it. It's like, why so excessive? Somebody's driving their motorcycle today in our driveway, apparently.
I mean, definitely there was some action. There was some action that was really fun.
Yeah.
But there was action that was just, it was just too over the top.
So yeah, it's over the top to where it doesn't make sense. It's like they didn't even try to hide half of this stuff that even looks like excessive. It was just like, oh, that's how it's gonna be, and that's how it's gonna be. So, yep. And you're just like, no.
Yeah, I think possibly the biggest offender there was The Rock. Man, I don't know. There's so many that are just so insane. Like, I was gonna say, there's a scene where The Rock crashes this ambulance through a barrier that is like on a bridge, and he lands it on this drone that's flying. And like just everything that had, like, you have to watch the film, but he had to get from the hospital to this one exact area that it's just like, how would he even know that he's supposed to be there?
Surprise!
And he lands this thing on the drone, and then he picks up a Gatling gun and starts firing it like he's the damn Terminator.
I can't wait to see the cinnamon sins on that one.
God,
it's gonna be hilarious. Well, I mean, aside from the Paul Walker thing, it's gonna be interesting to see the cinnamon sins because it's so excessive to the point where it's almost like, do I really want to enjoy it, or do I just really want to just be like, really?
Yeah, I mean, if you've liked all of the Fast and the Furious films up to this point, you're definitely going to enjoy the action in this film. But it's just, I don't know.
It's gotten more crazy as they've gone. It's like, what else can we do that's going to be like out of this world? Every movie, something has increased. It has increased its... Looking from the first one to this one now, it's like...
Oh yeah. Well, and some people are praising that though. Some people are like, oh, that's what's making these good now, because they finally accepted that they are an action film, and it's like, oh, I mean, I guess it is, yeah, but I mean, like, Paul Walker, God rest his soul, Paul Walker would not have any chance against, and I'm not just talking about Paul Walker, but I'm talking about Paul Walker's character, would have no chance against fighting somebody like Tony Jaa. Like, but he not only does, he holds his own for what? How? When did he learn martial arts? I mean, jeez.
I think that's always the funniest thing to see them pit our actors, our main heroes, against people that we know that are far superior fighting style.
Like Michelle Rodriguez and what's her face?
Ronda Rousey.
This girl is thick. Like, she would break Michelle Rodriguez in half.
And she pretty much did.
And she pretty much did. But she ends up getting her ass beat. And it's like, man, like, there is no precedence for Michelle Rodriguez being a martial artist, like, badass. Like, when did she, I mean, anyways.
We're going into a film rant on that one.
We are. So look, we're just gonna go ahead and move on. The action is absolutely insane. I mean, you saw the preview. You saw Paul Walker run up the bus and Superman jump off of the bus and grab hold of the car without ripping his arm sockets out. So you know what you're getting yourself into. The action is absolutely insane. Some of it was fun. There was a scene where they go sliding down the stairs on this door, and it just is a straight stair drop, basically. But, you know, like, they still keep fighting and whatnot, and that was fun to me. Like, I thought that's something that was plausible in my eyes, you know? So there's some stuff that's good.
Mythbusters up on this movie. Can we get a Mythbusters?
Come on, Mythbusters. All right, moving on. Dwayne Johnson. Dwayne Johnson reprising his role as The Rock, because that's what this felt like. He felt like, I swear that
After all these years, you gotta still throw a rock bottom in there.
You know,
Some way, shape, or
he tried so hard to distance himself from the WWE for so long, and now I feel like he's just getting wrapped right back around it. And I think he even is back with the WWE.
I think he went back for a second too. Now I think about it.
Like he's like the quintessential '80s action hero. It's like it's one-liner after one-liner after one-liner after one-liner. The man busts out of a freaking cast at one point. He rips his
They showed that in the commercial.
He just flexes his arm, and it like Hulk smash, man. And I mean, it's just come on.
Hulk smash out of this cast.
I mean, did it look cool? Yeah, sure. If I were 8, like it looked cool, but I don't think they were marketing this to 8-year-olds, were they?
I wonder how many kids have a cast on, and I went and saw that with their parents, and they're like,
just like, ugh!
how come he can do it, but I can't? I'm gonna bust out of my cast.
Man, like, so yeah, that was insane. So yeah, I mean, nothing really like to talk about there other than it's just a general observation. Like, Dwayne Johnson became The Rock in this movie again. Like, no, he was not The Rock in the previous movies. Like, we still call him The Rock, but but he was Dwayne. He was the action actor Dwayne Johnson in the other movies. He was The Rock, like straight up The Rock, up to and including the rock bottom on Jason Statham. So, anyways, how many times should people have died?
A million gazillion times.
There's a scene in Mission Impossible that in the first, I think it's the first Mission Impossible, where Tom Cruise says, "They're dead! They're all dead!" I wanted to scream that so many times in this theater. I mean, I'm talking cars going, like literally people surviving car crashes off cliffs. And I mean, at one point, I actually looked at Monica. It was actually during the bus scene where where Paul Walker runs up the bus and jumps. And I said, I think he might have been okay if he had just stayed in the bus. Because everybody lived through the most insane things throughout this entire film. And man, what about Vin Diesel with that damn stomping on the concrete and like, I swear this is a superhero film.
It might as well be.
I swear this is a superhero film.
It was borderlining. I mean, next thing you know, it's going to be an action cartoon.
I mean, it was just insane. The scene that we're talking about, it's Vin Diesel, like, there's this explosion and the concrete starts breaking away and Vin Diesel comes and slams his foot down real hard and you actually hear an audible doom, and the bottom falls out and Jason Statham falls and everything. And if you've ever tried to do that to just like a small concrete block at like a dump or anything, you'll know it is impossible.
But everybody's got like superhero strength.
They do. I mean, the Rock, in true Hulk fashion, at one point, literally just throws this entire slab, like bigger than this wall, just throws it off of Vin Diesel, and I'm like, okay.
It's okay. Hulk smash.
So yeah, anyways, people should have died a lot and frequently in this film. Like,
I think this one will start our series for how many times are you dead?
I know, man. Jeez. Okay, a thing that I had go through my head in this film was, how is Jason Statham getting around so quickly?
He was like teleporting everywhere.
Literally, he was teleporting, just like, he was here, and he was there, and he was in Tokyo, and who set the bomb, by the way? There's, in the preview, no spoilers here, in the preview, you see Vin Diesel's house explode, and that comes from a phone call sent by Jason Statham from Tokyo. Who planted the bomb?
It came in the mail.
What?
It came in the mail, the box. Remember she said, Dom, you gotta pack it.
Oh, alright, that's my bad. That's my bad.
I think you went to the bathroom, it's okay.
I did not. She did, though.
On the bus scene, because I saw it in the commercials a million times.
Well, I didn't go to the bathroom one time. I went to the bathroom at the very beginning when they started the roller coaster ding, 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 at the very beginning. Before the movie started. And there was another commercial right after that anyway, so it didn't matter. I walked in as Universal came up on the screen.
Anyways, there was a box that was mailed from Tokyo.
Well.
Hashtag mail.
Well, nobody uses snail mail anymore, so it's not believable. That
For
bomb,
packages.
That bomb would have come through email easy.
They might as well have done that. I'm gonna send you a bomb through the email.
Okay, but that being said, he gets around like a wizard.
Stupid
Like,
easy.
he gets around like a wizard. It's insane.
They make it seem like we're in the next country the next day, and I'm not mistaken. It sometimes takes a day or two to even get to another complete.
Well,
country.
you know, best case scenario, you know, like, or worst case scenario, I should say, you're gonna be on the plane, you know, up to 20 hours in some spots, depending on where you're going. I mean, that being said, not just how is Jason Statham getting around, but how is everybody getting around? You want to use okay, well, the guys, our heroes are getting around because they've got the military helping them. Okay, fine. But how is Dijon Mustard getting around? What's his name?
Jamon Hunsu.
Jamon Hunsu. I call him Dijon Mustard because it's easier for me to remember.
But yeah, they make
how's he getting around? Like, how's he just flying freely anywhere he wants? How's Statham getting around? And where's Statham getting all of Statham, whatever? How's he getting all of his vehicles? Like, all these different places, he's got vehicles. Like, you know, people are gonna say, well, Kyler, he's a billionaire. Yeah, but you can't. I mean, there's still a process. I mean, like, you have to go through customs and that kind of stuff. You know, so
it came through email.
You can't just. And that's another thing. We'll skip down to. Where's the American military? But where's any military? You can't just fly a plane into people's countries without them knowing and not getting really upset about it. At the end of the movie, Dijon Mustard is chasing our dudes around with a... almost did it. With a freaking drone. With a drone! In LA! Where's the military? He's actually blowing stuff up. He's blowing stuff up. And I saw one police officer in the entire city of LA during that scene.
Yeah, they had those 6 that were chasing, but they all like ended up wiped out in like 2 seconds.
Like, that is something.
Maybe that's why.
This goes to the unbelievability portion of the film. You know, like, I'm willing to accept certain action sequences, but like when you
completely take reality out of the supposed reality,
right? That's an issue. That is an issue, and that is an issue like that. This, I mean, like, this is an issue this franchise has suffered from since like the 4th film. You know, up to and including the scene, I think it was in 4, where they dragged the bank vault.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was in 4 or 5. It definitely wasn't 6. They drag a bank vault through a city, and like, physics just don't apply. I mean, and so something that we weren't going to talk about, but something I think is worth mentioning is, like, we're rooting for a bunch of bad guys, by the way. You know, like, at the end of the day, Toretto and Paul Walker and Letty and all of them, they're criminals. That's what this movie is like.
Glorifying criminals.
I mean, it really is. I mean,
because if you're a criminal, you're a badass.
You know, and it's you know, it's still a fun concept and everything, but like, they kill a lot of people in this movie, like, just with like cops who chase them and then like wreck. You're looking and you're like, they're dead. Like, that cop that just slammed into a tree, he's dead.
They're okay.
Anywho, so that being said, the chicken scenes.
Man, okay, when that chicken scene happened, the first one, I was so happy because every movie does that cliche thing where, like, vroom, 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 vroom.
Yeah, they always turn at the last second, and
it's annoying because you kind of want to see it to happen.
And this movie straight did, like, straight up. They weren't like, that was possibly the best thing in this film.
Because it would have sucked, because it was like, man, y'all both oops. Y'all are both girls, or, you know, these tough dudes ain't gonna play chicken for real, and they did.
And they did, and man, I mean, it hurt. It hurt me watching it. I was just like, ooh.
I know, right? I felt like,
And then they did it again, which we saw in one preview. I think it was a teaser, but whew, buddy. Like, again, people should be dead, man. Like,
No, right?
these are things people don't survive. Like they don't. You don't survive that. I mean, not trying to make a crude joke, but we have actual evidence that like you can't survive that sort of thing. Like, the metal at those speeds turns into butter. You know. So yeah, like, but the chicken scenes were still fun. Regardless. Dijon Mustard, was he too spicy?
I almost feel like he was just there just to add a...
He was very redundant to me. He
I
was...
I like him, but I just feel like...
He looks great.
They needed one extra person in there to make this a full roundabout everybody after everybody after everybody.
Yeah. I mean, I guess his character served purpose in the film, but it was kind of just like cliche bad guy. Like all of his henchmen actually wore these masks. I'm like, do you just wear those all day? Like
All day. Because we're hard like that.
Like only Tony Jaa didn't.
Because he's hard like that.
Man, Tony Jaa got messed up in this film too. Going back to again, like I just don't think that Paul Walker's character could have. No. But he, anyways, Dijon Mustard. You know, he was just like I said. I think he was very redundant. I don't think that he was really all that needed.
I felt the same way about Kurt Russell. I mean, I love me some Kurt Russell, but I felt like ultimately it's like because they made The Rock sit out, make it like he has to hurt for a bit. They had to bring in somebody to make the story go.
And why is that? I wonder. I wonder if we could figure out why The Rock had such a small role this time.
Maybe he was doing something else. Hercules Part 5.
Oh God, I forgot he wasn't doing Hercules.
He did it already, but.
Yeah, but I mean, it was released, so they were probably making it at the same time.
Probably.
Maybe that's what it was.
Ultimately, I felt like Kurt Russell was the same.
Yeah.
As
redundant. I mean, I think you're right. I mean, I think really both of them. That whole plot line, actually, the whole Kurt Russell plot line, where he's making the Furious 7, I guess. He's making them hijack this bus that you saw in the preview and steal God's Eye, which is ripped straight from Batman. And yeah, I mean, I didn't like that.
What? That didn't even hit me.
Straight from Batman.
So that's gonna be the new thing now. Is the God's Eye. Be prepared to see it in every single technical movie that you're gonna see because that's the thing that we're going for now.
And I just don't think there's any actual way that it could exist. I mean,
that'd be crazy.
There's too much processing power involved with something like that. Like basically, it's they can look at any camera and find anybody in the world because of facial recognition software. But this movie is victim of zoom and enhance. Like, yeah, sure. Maybe let's say you could do facial recognition software. Have you seen have you seen traffic cams? They're grainy, pixelated pieces of garbage. I'll let it slide. I mean, yeah. Other movies have done it, so. Okay, anyways, Tyrese.
That poor Saul, I actually kind of feel bad for him. He goes into the whole redundant category with Kurt Russell and Djimon Hounsou because it's like every movie from the beginning he came in at the second one, I believe. Movie. Ever since then, he gets more
dumb.
Like,
I mean,
really, half the time it's just he's that person that you go to the party and it's always trying to say something funny or smart, and you're just like.
And I don't think that he's like that as an actor. Like
I don't think so.
I've seen him do some good work. I mean,
like whose choice was it?
But they turn him into just an ass.
I guess he's supposed to be the comic relief.
But he's not. Not one time. I did not hear one person chuckle. Not one person in the theater did not hear one person chuckle at a single one of his jokes.
It's just like
every time he spoke, even the characters on screen all did what we all did. Like they all looked at him like,
why are you talking, man? Why are you talking?
Ludacris tells him 45 times, like, would you shut up? And I'm like, yeah, I know. Would you please? That was annoying.
It was.
That was hands down.
That poor soul. I felt so bad for him.
And again, I don't think it was his fault. Like I mean, they just wrote him. They wrote him bad. They just wrote him. I mean, or maybe it is his fault. I mean, maybe he just was like, I'm gonna do my thing over here and be Tyrese and blah blah blah. Blah. And maybe everybody really was saying shut up on set. You know, like just shut up, bro. And they were just rolling by accident.
In the great words of Simpsons, make that paycheck, Tyrese.
Right? Make that paycheck. Anyways, that's what we thought about Tyrese. We already covered where's the military. So the Paul Walker face. I only saw one example where it was kind of distracting. I really honestly think they did a good job. I had a hard time figuring out when they did it. Yeah. There are two places where it's very obvious, but it was only distracting in the one, and it was when they were all lined up. They were all coming back to LA for the final battle with Statham, and they're all lined up, and he says something, and it was very distracting. Obviously, you can't really hold this against them. I mean, they had to play the cards that were dealt. You know, so it's not like I don't criticize that about the film at all. Right. And then the next piece was at the end, and we'll talk about that and make sure that you understand that it's really, really spoiler-ridden when we talk about that part. But what about you? I mean, did you find it distracting at all? Or
I did, and like I said, I almost didn't notice. I noticed some parts it was kind of weird, but for the most part, I thought they did a good job with what they had, and they were able to capture his essence better than a lot of CG characters I've seen. The detail in Paul Walker compared to Tron was way better. Yeah,
I think you're totally right. And I mean, they did such a good job that I'm sure there were times that they did it that I didn't notice.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too. Because
apparently they had to use his brother. They had two brothers that they used. They used old footage from other films, like cut like deleted scenes and stuff. They were able to pull footage of Paul Walker and use it, and then they had to do, of course, just total 100% CG face. And I think all things considered, I mean, I think they did a great job. And it really, you know, it's obviously really sad what happened. And,
right.
He was an awesome actor, and from everything that I've ever heard, he was a great person.
Yeah, you never heard any drama from that one.
Yeah.
The good ones always go first.
Yep. So this last part, guys, is definitely going to be spoiler-ridden. This is about the send-off at the end of the movie. So if you would like to experience this without any spoilers, you should stop watching. But if you don't care, then you can listen to what we have to say. I think that ending was great.
I liked it too. I did too. At first, I didn't realize that they were. I almost didn't catch it. It started from the fire pit scene, and
they
kept going on, and I was like, "Oh, this is it." So this is. Oh, why am I tearing up right now? But it was sad, like seeing all their emotions. It was like.
Yeah.
Ew. Ew.
I might do the same thing as I start talking about it. To be honest with you. You know, they're sitting around the pit, and Tyrese is being an ass, and Ludacris tells him to shut up, and Tyrese then says, you know, beautiful, and what they're looking at is Paul Walker playing with their on-screen son, and his wife, and Dom decides that he's going to leave without saying goodbye because he doesn't want to say goodbye.
Right.
So here I go. No! It's sad, man. It's sad.
It is because I guess in a sense, like with all the movies, they have grown to be a family, and I think that really helped. I think that shone a light on what it is like to be in the film business. Because a lot of times, like when you're on set, you have grown to know those people. They are your family, whether you like it or not. And it's just, I think it was a nice opening for people that aren't in the film business to be able to see that it is a tight-knit thing, especially when you go for so many years doing the same projects and working together. So I think that was really cool for them to do.
The scene was definitely very, very reflexive. It was calling attention to itself. In other words, it definitely was not trying to be. I mean, it tried to capture both the cinematic ending as well as the actual character. I'm getting chills. The actual character send off. So Dom leaves and he's driving, and Paul Walker pulls up. Paul Walker pulls up.
And they do like this little outro talk thing.
Yeah, and he says, he said something like, "You didn't think you were going to get away without saying goodbye, did you?" And they start to race, and there's a split in the road, and they both go their separate ways. It was sad, guys.
It's like, man,
it was sad.
And you don't think, you go into it thinking like, you don't realize how much of a family it is, and you go into it thinking like, oh, everybody's saying, oh, the send-off was amazing, blah, 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 blah. And you can't help but feel that emotion, whether you've worked with a film crew or not, because it is family. And it was just, it's going to be different ways. You don't expect to tear up or get that knot in your throat, but you do. And it's because it was true. It was real.
I agree. 100%. So anyway, I don't think either of us were planning on tearing up for the camera.
Not at all, because we we didn't really show that part after we watched the movie. We were just like, okay.
I mean,
I guess because we really didn't talk about it.
Yeah, and I'm glad we didn't. It's just, it was beautiful.
It was nice. It was very nice.
So, that being said, if you hate action films, you probably shouldn't go see this. If you love action films, you're going to absolutely love it. If you've liked the Fast series, you're absolutely going to love it. Yeah, I mean, if I had to rate this movie, I think I said it earlier in our after segment. If I had to rate this, I would, I'd give it 3 out of 5 or something like that.
Yeah, because I do see myself watching it again, just because something does attract us to those crazy, obnoxious fantasy scenes of just craziness.
Yeah.
So
I'd say like if I'm rating it against action films, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Like, it's fun. It's just fueled with testosterone and
movies,
sex.
Guys that like movies.
Exactly. I mean, it's really fueled. But if I'm rating it as a cinematic piece of work, it's definitely going to be a lot lower. 4-ish. 4 out of 10 maybe. Like, so that's the skinny, guys. So go check it out. Tell us what you think. See if you agree with us, and see if you tear up like 2 little babies.
Get all splotchy in front of your girlfriend.
Yeah.
Or your boyfriend. Well, because girls are most common to cry before a guy. But guys, you're gonna get that lump in your throat. Don't even act.
Yeah. Don't act hard. You can be grown men and cry. So yeah. Anyway, guys, if you like this, make sure to let us know, because we can't afford to do it all the time, unfortunately. But we'll do it as frequently as we can if you guys like this sort of thing. So yeah, like, subscribe, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. It's all in the comment section below, or it's all near the comment section below. And yeah, like I said, if you've seen this movie, let us know what you think. And if you haven't seen it yet, go watch it and come back and tell us what you thought. Cool. That's the skinny. Peace.
Bye.